No more wasting time. You thought we were going to go to a break. We're going straight to game 5. Viper praying to get this over with because he does not want to fall in the lower bracket. This is a good opportunity for him. At least in theory. I have no idea in practice if this is the case.
Well, Hex and Volcano are two great ways to start.
Oh, yeah.
Even Warlock, its win rate drops significantly when its first threat is answered. Also has Earthshock for Twilight Drake somewhere in the deck. If he picks up those, I think he's in business. Zentimo Hex is also gotta call that out.
Yep. 1/1 could be a nice blessing for Viper if he hexes and attacks with the 1/1.
He didn't play Fireflies.
He doesn't have any elemental chains, like no Kalamos in the deck.
I wonder why.
I think because maybe in Viper's mind, his path to victory isn't pressuring the even Warlock. He needs to just answer things and outvalue it over time, very slowly. Classic control style. Wow, double Mountain Giant, double Twilight Drake. I mean, Viper has the answers in his deck, but it might be a little bit hard if he's just going to go non-stop threat after threat all the way through to Blood River Gul'dan if it ends up getting to that case. DeVito, how scared are you of Earthshock in this spot?
Very, very scared.
But the punish isn't that bad. Because, you know, the thing about, you know, Earthshock's coming out is, well, you know, their opponent can push damage with other big plays and board development, but it's not like Viper's going to do much here.
I think DeVito's going to mind games himself into playing Mountain Giant.
Is that what Viper wants to do?
Yes, that's exactly what Viper wants. Because if he just plays a Twilight Drake, Viper's not going to pull the trigger on Volcano. Then DeVito's going to follow that up with another big minion and put it out of range of Volcano. But on DeVito's side, if he plays Twilight Drake and gets Earthshocked, that's 1 mana for a 4 mana card, and also a very crucial card.
Oh, and a coin-plated beetle, so that's a nice 14 health for this Volcano to shut everything down. Well, second checkpoint cleared.
Yeah, and you almost have to pull the trigger on Volcano here. Because the same situation that I'd mentioned earlier would happen where one more threat would come down, Volcano would no longer be an option. Unless he wants to really let DeVito overextend and then go for the Electra plus Volcano.
Yeah, but you still have that in a couple turns, which allows you to, you know, kill off a huge board.
Yeah.
Basically any board that's coming your way.
Yeah. Tough part is the next turn coming up with Viper. He doesn't really have anything to fill the gaps.
That trade into the Mountain Giant, by the way, all but confirms why he didn't play that Firefly. Viper is not intending on attacking DeVito into the face until both Hooked Reavers have been played. There's just no incentive for him to. He doesn't have burst. There's like, I think there's literally no damage from the hand in his deck. Yeah, absolutely zero. His best chance is a Discover or Hagatha or like at least the Trailblazer pack. DeVito has an opportunity to play that Twilight Drake. He just doesn't want to get shut down by the Earthshock, but it's one of those things that we kind of talk about all the time. Force them to have it. If you don't play it, you give them time to draw it.
Yeah, DeVito's been doing that a lot. He's been playing around things that some have been there, but some haven't been there.
At the same time, Vulgar Homunculus in Acidic Swamp Ooze is similar power. Like, it's 5 damage on the board developed. But I like Twilight Drake a lot better here. And Viper's got nothing, really, to answer it. So he can go back to the drawing board, maybe discover a taunt minion off the Stone Defender first.
Out of my jungle!
Ooh. Rotten Apple Bomb can be good to buy some time in the late game.
Yeah, I think Restoring Health is probably better than the Drukhari Defender.
Well, Drukhari Defender can help buff the Spellstone so he gets off Hagatha in the league.
Yeah, it's true.
So there is some merit there.
Yeah.
Very, very, very little merit, but some.
I wonder if DeVito's going to get really brave now that he's seen no Earthshock and play his second Twilight Drake.
That would be solid. But Viper is in a position where he has plenty of time to buy for the Electro Volcano turn. And at that point, DeVito would be very light on threats left in the deck. The problem for Viper is the removal probably didn't line up the way he'd want it to. Because he'd want Volcano for the really big stuff and Earthshocks for Twilight Drakes.
Right.
But how it's going to turn out is he's going to use Volcanoes for the Twilight Drakes and then have Earthshocks later on when the big stuff needs to be removed.
Well,
Granny still has Kragwa.
Yeah,
He also
that's
has another
Kragwa.
Hex in the deck. A lot of ways he can make things happen.
and DeVito's side, I think he recognizes that if he plays the Gen Greymane, it's just once again vulnerable to a Volcano. So if he instead goes for a Homunculus plus the Twilight Drake, it should be enough to withstand the Volcano, because I think the Drake is at 8 life or 9 life, and then the Vulgar Homunculus puts things out of range. So I like that a little bit better. Oh, he's going for the Hooked Reaver. So that's just
exactly
15.
15.
Yeah, that's just exactly 15.
Oh, man. And funny thing is, Viper will have exactly...
Really?
Yeah. Viper has enough...
Wait, what was it? This didn't work out at all.
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know why second Twilight Drake didn't come down there.
Yeah, he didn't Earthshock the other Twilight Drake.
It was the same power,
Yeah.
and Viper also can Kragwa next turn. He's not going to be facing much pressure. Kragwa will bring back another Volcano, which will give him another removal reload, so to
Right.
speak.
Oh! Wait, you still go for the Crag Wall, right? Because you want to get the Volcano back, because that's your second Volcano toss.
I don't know, man. I guess.
I think you do. Look,
Yeah.
you can take down the Twilight Drake anytime.
Yeah, you can kill the Twilight Drake next turn. I guess you're right. But
I mean, if anything, this Earthshock...
Okay.
Well, so this is so DeVito might like Bone Mare and then like push.
Yeah.
And then this is an opportunity for Viper to just commandingly sweep the board once again.
Yeah. Next turn, he can Earthshock, Bone Mare, and Healing Rain.
I mean, if he even needs the Healing Rain.
Or Earthshock Volcano, sorry, and Healing Rain, not Bone Mare. I think I said Bone Mare. Yeah. And if you're in DeVito's spot, he may make a trade. He may Bone Mare and trade over the Kragwa.
Yeah.
To play around Zola, which is actually a pretty big deal if he Zolas the Kragwa. Because this is a resource battle for the Even Warlock. The Even Warlock doesn't have any way to generate extra value. The only way is Blood River Gul'dan, but it's not generating extra value. It's just kind of bringing back a little bit of the value that you played early on in the game. They don't have Dire Frenzy or Deathstalker Rexar or at least a Trailblazer or anything like that. Once their threats are gone, their threats are gone. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh, TJ!
The disrespect! Get this man out of here!
All right, stay calm. Yes. So what do we do with our 8 other mana, TJ?
Why did he do that?
Look,
I'm so upset.
he did it because he hasn't seen an Earthshock this entire game, and this is his second Twilight Drake. So
But
he's like,
okay,
well,
here's my point. What's the difference between doing it on the Twilight Drake and doing it on the Acidic Swamp Ooze? You push the same amount of damage.
yes.
You're just as weak to Volcano, if that were to come out. There's no, you're not really weak to Primordial Drake or Shudderwalk.
Oh my goodness.
What's the difference between doing it on the Twilight Drake and doing it on the Acidic Swamp Ooze in that case? That's my question.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe-
Agatha spread. of damage? I don't think so.
But your Twilight Drake still lives. Yes, you lose recurring damage because the Acidic Swampoost would die to Cragwall plus something.
Right.
Like Cragwall Primordial Drake or Cragwall Hagatha.
Okay.
But then you still have 2 good-sized minions on the board to keep pushing damage.
I mean, look, it's not like DeVito didn't think about it. He thought a very long time. And
Yeah.
I think it really came down to Viper has had opportunities to Earthshock several times and just didn't have it.
Yeah.
And felt like this was a really good way to lock Cragwall from doing anything else in terms of a trade. So I don't blame him for the logic. It just really did not pan out very well whatsoever. And it blew up in his face, to say the least.
Yeah.
But he can push damage here with the Spellstone and Hellfire push.
Yeah. I guess also, I mean, I just think it doesn't really fit into the playstyle that he's been going with for the rest of the series, where he's kind of has been playing around worst case scenario.
I like this playstyle though, pushing damage to the face. Ooh. Lone champion!
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. Lone
What
champion.
a card.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of memeing TJ, but this is a very nice pickup here.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's no Spellbreaker in DeVito's hand right now. Well, he does have 2 copies in the deck, so it's actually not a guarantee. Well, what I'm looking at is Viper has a chance to get multiple Healing Rains. I don't know if he wants to pull the trigger on Cragwall again with that. But that's a pretty high value spell because it buys you a ton of time. And the more time that this deck has, the more likely it is to win. It will win in the ultra late stages of this game, regardless of which way you slice it, because eventually DeVito will just run out of things to do. And the 3 damage hero power from Blood River Gul'dan will not be enough to offset how far behind he'll be in fatigue and value.
I don't disagree. I mean, Drukhari Defender is kind of a huge taunt wall that gets in front of the way of some of those minions from trading. You can play it right here, right now. Earth Elemental is a little bit, well, it's just not a little bit. It's a lot sturdier because it has 5 extra attack.
Yeah.
For 3 extra mana.
Viper getting a bit greedy with the Healing Rain. I think he wants the Healing Rain Volcano in the same turn.
Oh yeah.
That way Cragwall comes back.
Oh yeah.
With a vengeance.
If I'm DeVito, do I Blood Reaver Gul'dan in this spot?
He brings back a Hooked Reaver and a Vulgar Homunculus.
Yeah, but it's not really about the board, is it? It feels like your opponent has so many ways to deal with things on the board that it's not really going to come down to that.
I guess it's not about the board, especially since DeVito knows that there's another Volcano in hand.
It's true. I think with the Healing Rains too, it just makes it that Blood River Gul'dan can't close out the game, so play more minions, tap a lot more, develop.
Yeah, I think he's got to try to force out a Volcano before he plays Blood River Gul'dan.
Right.
And this is that force, or at least he assumes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a light situation. It's a light setup. So a Volcano, does it clear in this spot?
There'd be 4, 1, 9, 10, 11. No, there'd be 16 health, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep, 16 health. I count it. You could...
Volcano Dragon Maw Scorcher.
Yeah, Volcano and Dragon Maw Scorcher, which is reasonable.
Then you don't get the ideal Cragwall that it looked like he was searching for by not Healing Rain last turn. But maybe it's just enough. One more Volcano is one more board push.
Maybe what he can do is Healing Rain and then Electro Volcano the following turn, and then Cragwall the Volcano back.
Cragwall double Volcano back.
Is that how it works?
No, because Electra's casting the spell, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think we saw that interaction yesterday. But I don't know. It could work that way.
Going for the Healing Rain. Oh, it's the Cragwall set up. Yeah, this is the most likely outcome, which was that the Bone Mare survived because it had the most health. But you're always hoping that it doesn't go that way.
Yeah. The one problem that Viper could find himself in is if DeVito loads up this turn and he plays Cragwall, and then DeVito has more load up for the next turn, and Volcano can't clear, then he's in trouble, actually. So honestly, Dragon Ball Scorcher there, I think would have been better.
Maybe.
Because then you guarantee clear the board, you don't take extra damage, and you can chip away at some of the reload. Because this turn basically has to be Cragwall.
Yeah, it has to be Cragwall, and I think you're too scared to Totem because it might just be a useless Totem adding extra health, so you might want to Flame Elemental instead.
Whew. This got sketchy real quick.
Yep, there's 8, 10, 12, 13 life. It's 11. No, it should be fine. I mean, even if DeVito plays like 2 Hooked Reavers, he could still, like, which he can't, by the way. But I'm trying to show you like the context of his health. Even if you played 2 Mountain Giants on the following turn, he would still be able to Electra Volcano the board away.
Yeah, I suppose. But he would have taken a lot of damage at that point. Electra
Right.
Volcano would take up a full turn.
But
It would leave him with 6 mana the next turn.
5, 13. There's 13 power. Put him 9. But the Vito's have used a lot of his burst potential too. He's used a Bone Mare and he's used.
There's still Hellfire.
Well, he used 1 Hellfire.
There's still the potential for Lich King to pick up damage.
Oh my goodness. He's ditching his spells. He doesn't think he can handle it anymore.
So
He has Tidal Surge, which is nice. Tidal Surge is still very useful.
but now he gets.
He has Electro Storm Surge, Tidal Surge.
I don't know. That seemed like a mismatch of plays there. A mishmash.
I mean, I understand his logic, which is, okay, so let's say he plays the Cragwall. He accepts 13 damage, goes down to 9, plus the hero power. He has to Electro Storm Surge and Volcano to clear, but he's at 6, and then he's dead to a Volcano, or he's dead to a Hellfire and hero power. So in a 3-turn setup, Viper is dead. If his opponent has like the ideal setup, and DeVito has only 8 cards remaining, so it's a pretty likely scenario that DeVito might have the second Hellfire ready to go. So I actually agree with that.
Well, I'm going back to the other turn saying Dragon Ball Scorcher over Healing Rain. Is what I'm saying.
If that was gonna pan out the way it did, Viper would have also Dragon Moss Scorchered.
Yeah.
But DeVito also, how is he supposed to know that he has the exactly the Blood River Gold Band in that position? I mean, it's a percentage thing,
Yeah. I guess in this situation, we'll get to find out if Electra works with Cragwall how we think it does. This is probably Electra plus Tidal Surge turn.
Yes. That'll heal you up for 8. You can get Cragwall back, and you still have a really powerful turn as a follow-up. Ziliax plus Earth Elemental. That is a big board development.
Yes, it is. And DeVito has used Blood River Gul'dan, has very little threats left in the deck.
Jeez, that Death and Decay, though, is massive pickup. Oh my goodness. DeVito can also, I think biting and playing the Shroom Brewer here is perfectly fine. Although, maybe Spellbreaker is better because it gives you flexibility of your options. Like, Shroom Brewer can be used to heal, like, a better minion, I guess.
But this is basically DeVito's last push. He has a Dread Infernal and a Spellbreaker left in his deck. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Viper's on the Outlast plan.
Yeah, which is, it's worked for this deck many times before. That's the name of the game for Peanut Shaman.
Well, and DeVito has a couple of cards that like don't do anything. Like Shadow Flame is not going to be useful.
Defile, which I'm pretty sure he has 2 Defiles left in his deck.
Yeah, the window's already passed. He's had an opportunity previously to do stuff.
So many.
Also, if Viper ever draws Shudderwalk before the end of the game and he casts a spell, he's played Cragwall 3 times, so he's gonna have 3 copies of said spell.
One thing maybe going for DeVito is that Viper, his hand is quite empty.
I must
Yeah, like,
I'm trying to look for the light at the end of the tunnel here.
You are right. DeVito does have an opportunity for a tempo push with a Spellstone and a Spellbreaker in this spot. It's not the best, especially with an Earth Elemental and Ziliax coming up.
Oh, Viper's getting low.
That is a big-time draw.
Ooh.
Because what it does is it gives longevity to his hand. So now when he plays Ziliax and Earth Elementals, those are 2 more spells that go into his hand.
Yep.
And Hagatha sets up for like a Primordial Drake on the following turn and shuts off DeVito from like being able to play things like Defile in the future turns. Not that he would.
And if you look at it, Hagatha and Ziliax are very similar. They both, Ziliax gains 4 health and kills a minion and forces a hero power next turn, whereas Hagatha gains 5 health and kills a minion and doesn't force a hero power next turn. So they're very, very similar. So you might as well play Hagatha first if that's the case.
My tablet came 100% charged to the series, DJ, and it's dead. So we're flying blind here.
Oh no!
I don't know how many battle cards have been invested into the pool. I was keeping pretty diligent notes.
I don't even know what cards do anymore.
DeVito has another Hooked Reaver. I mean, that's one of his better minions in this deck. In fact, his best play this turn is Gen Greymane.
Shields up.
This curse has become our greatest strength.
And he's going to push an extra 7.
I mean, he's getting close-ish.
He is.
Unity.
Zentimo.
Wait a
if he
second.
gets a
Hold on,
good
hold on, hold
spell.
on.
Earthshock.
Hold on.
Zentimo Earthshock.
Zentimo Earthshock killed again? No!
Wow!
That's so sick.
Well, Wind Fury can work on both your minions. That's not going to be what's important here. The Earthshock is a really nice
Oh
pickup.
my goodness. Well, I was thinking if he did not pick up spells that he could play and he went for Ziliax Earth Elemental, he would kill the Shroomburr, go up to 15. Spellbreaker, Hero Power plus Hellfire, if he'd drawn it, would put it down to 1.
Yep. And he would have been...
and he would have had no healing left in hand. But this ends up working out nearly perfectly.
I mean, he could have also just picked up Wind Fury too, and he would have Wind Fury the Ziliax to double trade and gain even more life.
Yeah.
DeVito should definitely deal with that Ziliax now and Zentimo. I am a big fan of just silencing the Zentimo and biting the Ziliax and playing Hooked Reaver. I think you're 100% all in now.
Yeah. Well, if he's all in, then he's just pushing damage and leaving Zentimo up. He bites, attacks face.
Well, I meant all in, like,
4 mana minions.
You're not commit. Oh, he's gonna Shadow Flame.
Oh, this is okay. This is actually maximum damage push, but it doesn't leave another minion on the board behind this 2/2.
It's a very pitiful push, and it's also a very important breakpoint that Viper can survive 3 bites before he has to find healing.
Yeah.
So Primordial Drake can come down here.
Well, what healing does Viper have left in the deck?
He has another healing rain and a Tidal
he has
Surge
another-
apparently.
Oh, and
Dude, if he had the Teemo Tidal Surge, this game was 100% locked. But it's good that DeVito dealt with it, and he found value off of the Shadow Flame, which is important.
Yeah.
But now things like Spellbreaker and Doomsayer, Hellfire, Defile, these are all situational cards that are like good against aggressive strategies, maybe.
Yeah. I think Viper is frantically trying to count how much damage from hand DeVito could possibly have.
It's just Hellfire and
yeah, but he's trying to think how many Hellfires have been used, I think is the big thing.
it's just 1.
It's 1, but does he remember that 1? With how stressful this game has probably been for him at times, you may not. And it may force him to use Tidal Surge a turn earlier than he needs to, which may stunt his development for a turn later than he needs to, and could let the Siphon Life be the difference maker.
Well, there's still a Dread Infernal in the deck.
There's still Dread Infernal. That's
And-
the extra breakpoint.
And an Ooze, and I believe the second Defile. So I think that should be the 3 cards remaining.
Okay, so DeVito's just going to set up for Dread Infernal lethal off the top.
Yes. Except what he doesn't know is that Viper has heal with this Tidal Surge.
Yep. And kind of protection for his board state.
Ooze first, see if you pick up a really powerful card that might change your play.
Yep.
I can't imagine one would outside of Healing Rain. Eureka pulls out the Earth Elemental for free.
I mean, that could be the difference maker. Viper's going to Wind Fury up this Primordial Drake to start pushing damage. He needs to put him on a clock. The one thing that Eureka does do is it doesn't give you an extra spell.
That's true. That's true.
And maybe if he needs the extra spell that turn, he may not want to play Eureka.
Yeah.
But that's only if he needs it that turn. And now he's thinking, do I Earthshock this Doomsayer to push an extra 5 damage to face?
There's Earthshock.
I think you do.
I think the Earthshock doesn't have any other targets, really. Like,
Yeah.
you do a 1 damage Spellbreaker or Dread Infernal or Acidic Swan. I don't think any.
Man, this is actually going to be really close. Viper's not guaranteed to draw Healing Ring because he's got 9 cards left.
Right. But, again, Viper's at a very important breakpoint. He's at 8 life, not 7.
Shields up.
The silence. The damage. It's close, TJ.
Wait, and this actually also protects one of
The
his minions.
Shudderwalk! Okay, there's just a lot going on here. In fact, the entire board will die guaranteed.
But
Wait, he gets the Earthshock. He gets all the spells he played last turn, so he gets a Tidal Surge back. He gets like 3 Tidal Surges back.
does it guarantee clear the board? Yeah, with Hagatha.
Yes, Hagatha, Primordial Drake, Dragonmaw Scorchers.
Yeah,
He gets
because
stone- he gets
Cragwall's
stone-
played 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Cragwall.
Cragwall again.
Oh no, but it's going to fill up his hand because of Stonehill Defenders and Fireflies, so he may not get it back. Yeah, he will.
He got it back.
Okay.
Woo! The value! And DeVito, if he draws Dread Infernal, is going to be 1 damage off lethal. Viper's thinking if he should free up his hand space in case he draws Healing Rain, he might need it.
I'm
Passes.
almost out of cards.
He's got 2 Tidal Surges. I don't think he needs it.
It's so close!
Wow.
Don't need you, Elise. You can Flame Elemental, Tidal Surge.
Smack him.
Actually, this works out okay as well. Oh, he doesn't know what cards were generated, right? He should. The Cragwall does.
He
sell
should,
that, but
yeah.
Wind Fury again. DeVito on his potential last turn here.
Wow.
Pretty sure it's another Defile that's remaining, and that's
it.
not enough.
Peanut Shaman gets there by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, DeVito has to clear the Shudderwalk, which commits him to not damaging the face, so he wouldn't even be able to drag this out if Viper was still three cards away from the heal.
Yep.
I mean, let's still play this out. I mean, maybe some miracle happens here. Hex!
He could have just Tidal Surge, Earthshocked, and then he was almost mathematically dead by that point. Unstable Evolution, any threat on the board would have been able to push through past fatigue.
Oh, man.
He would have been on a 3-turn clock.
It's brutal. Viper definitely wants a Tidal Surge this turn.
Yeah, and he needs at least 6 mana to kill it off. That's if he wants a double Earthshock. It's a last minion, so he might as well do it in the most mana efficient way possible.
Yes. Plague of Toads, not gonna really matter. Tidal Surge, double Earthshock leaves him enough to evolve twice more. Yeah, toss it in. You never know if you get some way to heal or gain armor.
Is there anything that can damage him? I don't think so.
No, most of them are battle cries.
Yeah.
And DeVito is 100% locked out of this game. What a marathon. What a game. What a series. And with that, Viper is going to be able to join us once again for yet another championship appearance.
Doing it his own way, time after time. I looked at this deck and I thought there's no way Viper makes it to the top 8, let alone qualifies for winter championships. I didn't have faith in the deck. I'm sure many people that saw him didn't have faith in the deck. But with 3 health to spare.
Oh yeah, make it rain, baby. That is a 3-2 victory. We have our first player joining us for the Winter Championship from Europe. Viper from Germany makes his third